I haven't seen my family very much, and we haven't been on a family vacation in a very long time. So you can understand exactly why I was so crushed when they decided to go on a trip and not tell me. My siblings have yet to move out from our childhood home, and I've been to university. I'm so empty and it feels so horrible. I've been trying to act like I didn't care, but when they were driving to the airport, I couldn't stop crying. My mother was so hurt, they kept saying they loved me. Last time we went to a family vacation was when I was around 13. I cried so much I had cramps in my stomach. I wrote them a message trying to make them understand what I was feeling and that it hurt me a lot. I got back that I was ruining the vacation and just to accept it. They said they thought I wanted to be free. I know it might have been an a-hole move to mention this at the first day of their vacation, but the pictures they sent being all happy made all my emotions I've tried to hide come through. I've never felt this left out, and I feel like I'm not a family member. I'm trapped in this house taking care of an animal when they're out being a family on holiday. I feel heartbroken. My plan right now is to leave the pet with a relative and go back to university, and dive into school just to forget. How can I forgive them? Has anything like this happened to anyone else? Edit, just to add, I would have paid for myself. This is not about getting a free vacation. This is about them going away on a family vacation without inviting me. They brought with them my 19-year-old brother, who even complained that he'd rather be at home playing video games. They're all there, the whole family. They brought my brother so that it would be a family trip. I wouldn't even have batted an eye if it was only my sister going. I'm really grateful for everyone who commented and gave me a nuanced perspective. I've come to the conclusion that my emotions are valid, and that I need to communicate this to my family peacefully. I'm also really sorry that so many other people have gone through similar situations, and I send all the hugs in the world to you. The feeling of being left out is just freaking awful. This was a sad story, as I can truly tell that it hurt OP, the fact that OP was not able to join the family. It seemed like it crushed OP, but let me know if you guys have had any similar situations when maybe you went off to college or somewhere else, and it might seem like your family, quote, forgot about you. Our next story we're going to look at is called, My Son Managed to Read Our Will, and It's Destroying Our Family. If you're new to the channel, my name's Mr. Reddito. Click that subscribe button if you're enjoying, and let's hop into story number 2. I'm going to preface this by saying I love all three of my sons equally. They're 29, 24, and 22. It's my unequivocal truth. It's just that my ex-wife's involvement with my oldest son has really introduced a lot of toxicity and complications in our life. After years of emotional and financial abuse, my wife and I made a very conscious decision: completely cut my ex-wife out of our lives once my son turned 18. We'll let him have his relationship with his mother without any interference from us or any negative words. I disagree with a lot of how their relationship is, but I've kept my mouth shut just to keep the peace. After losing literally everything after my divorce, I've built a new business with my wife and it's doing fantastic. All three of our sons work in the business. A week ago, all the kids were over for lunch. I was stupid and left out recently drafted will on my office desk. My oldest son managed to see it. Our company and our home was willed to my two younger sons. My oldest was giving a trust that pays out some money every 5 years. I feel like I have to explain myself over why the will was laid out as it was. My ex-wife still has a lot of influence over my son, and at the suggestion of our lawyer, we created the will this way so she could not interfere in the company and home. If she were to pass away before us, the will would be immediately rewritten to divide the company and home equally. The plan was to explain this to our son gently and not for him to see it without any context. My son was understandably upset, but his behavior that day exceeded all levels of decency. He stormed downstairs, threw things around, and used disgusting language against my wife and I. Our son nearly got into a fist fight. I'm devastated. I've already apologized and forwarded his emails to my lawyer, telling him I want the will to be changed to split everything equally, but the damage has been done. He's now spreading horrible lies about us and his brothers to everyone in the family, even to point out accusing us of being racist, since he's half Indian and half white. His brothers and my wife and I are so hurt hearing this. It couldn't be any further than the truth. It's the same thing my ex-wife used to accuse us over the years. He has refused to come into work since the past week, and I've been scrambling to do a lot of his work. I don't know how to fix this. He won't take my calls. My ex-wife has used this situation to make absolutely insane posts on Facebook that I'm considering legal action over. But I know that will just give gasoline to the fire with regards to my son. I'm not sure how to salvage this, and I'm really afraid that some of the things he said won't be easily forgotten. My younger sons have already been questioned on social media by their cousins about the racist accusations. It's a very uncomfortable thing to approach. My wife is also not over the names she was called by him, even though she says she is. So there was a lot of controversy in the comment section about this story. The majority of people were saying, hey buddy, it doesn't matter. If you decide to gift something to your son in your will, it's then up to him what he does with it. If he wants to give some to his bio mother, it's his decision. So there were a lot of people not agreeing with OP. Let me read one of the comments. I don't agree. When you give something to your son, it's his decision how to use it. He may choose to waste away or build upon it, as well as he may share or give it to his mother. This is inheritance and his decision. Okay guys, so let me know what you think on that thought. There's one final story that does come complete with an update, but drop your opinions down below as I love reading them. Just found out my 23 male best friend 23 male has been secretly dating my ex-girlfriend 4 months. Guys, this one is super juicy. Let's jump right in it. Casey and I were together for 5 years. We started dating in high school and stayed together through college. Moved in together after graduation. I've been in love with her since before our first date. She's amazing, and I still think so. We were talking about marriage and starting a family soon. Then one day, a few months ago, Casey wanted to talk. Sat me down and said she decided she doesn't want children. She did not just mean not now, but not ever. She talked a lot about overpopulation or climate change or whatever, but I was just immediately depressed. I've always wanted to be a dad. My dad was a piece of garbage, and this is something I've wanted to do ever since I was still a kid myself. When she finished talking, I told her it was over. She started crying, and I was already crying, but shoot! If she doesn't want the same thing I do from the future, what else can I do? She said she's been thinking this way for years, and Corona was the last straw. I'm not going to wait around and hope she changes her mind when she might not. So I moved out and in with my best friend Ryan. We've been friends forever, like we bonded over Pokemon cards at the playground kind of thing. He's basically my brother, and his mom was my extra mom since I didn't have much of a home growing up. I was in a hurry to move out, so I did not take much stuff with me. And then, I did not want to go back to the apartment to see Casey. So, Ryan was doing the good friend thing and going to get stuff for me whenever I needed it. At least, that's what I thought he was doing. Yesterday would have been me and Casey's 6th anniversary. It was a really tough and rough one for me. So, I told Ryan I did not want to be alone and wanted to hang out and game all day. He agreed and everything, but he was kind of distracted on his phone a lot. After a couple of hours, he said, quote, "Something's come up," and just left me there alone. Shit got dark. I'm not ashamed to say I cried. There were reasons I did not want to be alone that day. Almost midnight last night, Ryan finally came home and was acting weird, so I asked him what was up. I thought maybe his mom was sick or something. She's a teacher at school that just reopened. But no, Ryan sits me down and tells me he's moving out. He's been secretly dating Casey since a few weeks after we split. He says they're in love already and that she needs him more than I do. So he's moving into the apartment with her and leaving me here alone to rot. I didn't even know how to duck to process this. I don't know which one of them's broken me more. To make things worse, I messaged some of our other friends this morning to tell them what's up. They already knew. When I got upset, they all said it was, quote, "no big deal," because I'm the one who broke up with Casey. Where do I even go from here? I can't talk to my friends. My ex broke my heart. My best friend stomped on it. And the closest thing I have to family is gone. Because they were his family too. I'm lost. I don't know where else to turn. Here's a small update. Bigger shit to worry about than my broken heart, I guess. Ryan texted me, "I'm about to be homeless in a pandemic." Update 2. Thanks so much to everyone reaching out. My inbox is blowing up, but I'm kind of focused on this housing thing first. I'll catch up when I can. Okay guys, Mr. Reddito here, and OP was not lying. He did catch up when he could. I found a complete update for this story. It took a little bit of digging, but I have it right here. If you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button right now, as it's the best way to support me, and let's get right into this update. I kinda debated if I'd post an update on this or not. It's been a few weeks and some stuff has happened. But as the post blew up, I got a good number of really crappy comments that informed me I was a worthless piece of garbage. That I should beat up my ex-girlfriend, or alternately, that I was probably already some kind of horrible abuser who hated her and wanted to control her body. I also got a ton of love, though. Support, private messages offering connections on housing, and more. But being I was already in a dark and desperate place, those other comments really twisted the knife. I had to spend some time away just fixing my shit, but also avoiding that stuff, because it was really not making me want to move forward. For anyone who's reading this while in the middle of a situation, wondering if you should post your sorry, my advice is don't. Wait till you have some distance or it's just going to make things worse. One thing I want to clarify here, since a few people swung for the fences based on what I posted, I don't hate Casey. I don't think she should move on. I don't blame her for dating someone else. I do have a lot of anger still thinking about this though. All the anger now I feel is at Ryan. That's it. Ryan is the one who lied to me, went behind my back, not Casey. My most pretty clearly stated that I think Casey is an awesome human being. Still think so, period. We just wanted different things. Sorry for rambling, here's the actual update. Shortly after I posted, Ryan texted me to say he planned to give me a month to find somewhere else to live. But since, quote, I couldn't be happy for them, he wanted me out by Friday. Looking back at it, I kinda think this was his plan all along. Casey's parents own their own apartment, I lived with her, so we paid bills on it but no rent. Ryan's apartment was so expensive, and its parents still paid some of the bills there, so I suspect he was looking for an excuse to break his lease and get in on that free rent. But guys, good news is, I have a place to live now. Someone helped me out after all, in a weird way. A couple days after I posted, this guy named TJ hit me up on Facebook. Hey TJ, with a link to my posting asking if it was me. TJ and I weren't close friends before all this, but he recognized some of the details. Skipping some back and forth, it turns out Ryan lied to all our mutual friends about this situation. Apparently, he hooked up with Casey the first time about a week after we split up. He asked some of our friends what to do, and they all told him to make sure I was cool with it first. He then told them that he's already talked to me, and I was happy for them. So, when I started freaking out a couple months later, my friends all thought I was going crazy out of nowhere, over something I've known about for months. Once they found out what really happened, I got a lot of apology text messages. Some of them I've accepted, some are still unread. A couple of guys offered me crash space or to help move, and I wound up staying with TJ, but only till I could find somewhere else. My days of living in places without my name on a lease are over. Learned my lesson there. I found a roommate looking for a place through Craigslist. We signed a lease last week. Moving from TJ's happened this weekend. As for Ryan is blocked out of my life. I probably forgot some of the stuff at either his place or Casey's, but it's whatever. I can get new stuff. I can get new friends. More than anything else in this situation made me realize the importance of having stable, independent housing, and not counting on anyone else's to do the right thing by me. I have to have my own back in life, not rely on others. That's about all I've got for you. It's nothing dramatic, I guess. No one was hit by a car, got pregnant, or turned out to be cheating. But I've never been so glad to have a roof over my head and a bed to come back to. I'm going to keep going from here, keep working on life, and I'm sure as hell going to take a break on the dating side. That's all there is to do. So this story was pretty intense. It's a lot that OP's gone through. I want to read a comment before the update occurred, and this commenter did not know if OP's found a place to stay yet. The comment says, "I cannot imagine how hard this must be on you, but you are strong for telling us this. I hope you do find a place ASAP and leave all this stuff behind you. It's okay to feel what you do, but remember, you deserve happiness and growth also. Like people already mentioned around here, if there are ways we could help you out, do let us know." Well, it looks like TJ saw that comment or someone's comment because TJ gave OP a place to stay and all seems to be going well. I hope you guys enjoyed today's stories. I have no more content for you. Tune in tomorrow as I have a very special story coming out. I hope you subscribe to the channel and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.